Welcome to the Rule 62 podcast. I am, and this is how it's going to be every single episode. All right. I am Costa.
I'm Darin.
And this is the Rule 62 podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have some great things to talk about and some great people here with us. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'll go to my right.
Oh, that's me. Hey, I'm Aubrey.
Hey, Aubrey.
I'm Angel.
I'm Elizabeth.
Oh, and I'm Darin again, guys. How we doing?
That was yeah, I'm gonna have to be quick on this switcher, man, because everybody's gonna be talking and everything. All right, so pretty much what me and Darin wanted to bring up, right, is that with this being the first episode, with this being we just got into the new year, you know. I don't know why I'm like whatever. But with this being the new year, we just kind of wanted to bring up like New Year's resolutions. And for me, like, especially considering like it's been kind of tough. It's been tough, you know, with sobriety and with recovery and consistently working the program and consistently like actually like believing in God and living out of God's will. For me, one of the big things to talk about is consistency. Even down to like just kind of cleaning my room and keeping my car clean and you know, showing to work on time and reaching out to people, like literally everything is all about consistency for me this year. That's the main thing that I believe that I have to focus on for me to just kind of live a better life, you know. So I just kind of wanted to get into that topic with everybody, not just consistency, but I mean, talk about, you know, what you want to talk about, you know, what you're excited for, what you need to work on more, like just kind of like literally anything and everything. And this is Rule 62, so let's not take ourselves so damn seriously. You know, like, let's have fun, let's smile, let's laugh. Like, let's show people that, like, you can actually have fun in sobriety, you know, because that is, that is, like, the main thing that's kept me sober, is just having fun, you know. So, with that being said, again, we're going to start off going to the right, and then... I don't want to do this. We're gonna start out going to the right, and then when everybody shares, we're gonna kind of open it up for like an open discussion type thing. And if you guys like what somebody says, like, go ahead, don't be afraid to jump in and get this ball rolling. You know, so
Cool. Yeah, dude, consistency is tough. That's always been tough, like my whole life. I've never really like lived by any sort of structure until I got sober.
Amen.
Fortunately, you know, like the programs and stuff like that we've been blessed with has given us some sort of accountability and accountability buddies. And it's like one of my favorite words, by the way.
sorry. I had to make sure that we're up and running. I apologize. Continue. I'm so sorry.
But so far, I've got a pretty good feeling about 2020. I mean, the year, I mean, I know we're only in like day 7 of this year, but it's been very kind to me. I've been blessed with this new job opportunity that I've wanted for a long time. Darin knows.
Yeah.
I've been talking about this for a while, that this is what I wanted to do, and I'm doing it. And, yeah, it's just been cool, but, you know, it kind of, like, comes back to, like, staying in the moment for me. Like, I think that's the best way for me to stay consistent is just stay mindful of, like, okay, what's going on today?
Hell yeah.
You know? Yeah, so, like you mentioned cleaning your room and, like, keeping things tidy and
Yep.
New Year's resolutions I've never really believed in, to be totally honest. This time it's a little bit different, but, like, anytime I wanted to do something, you know, I would just go out and do it. And I don't believe in the whole, like, new year, new me. I just don't. It's hard for me because, like, if you want to change something, just get up and do it, no matter, like, what time of year it is or whatever. Mm-hmm. But with the cleanliness, I'm definitely one to be disorganized. I mean, even though I'm a Virgo, like, dude, I am
I'm a Virgo.
yeah, I'm a Virgo.
Yes.
Virgo.
We're Virgos.
Yes. When's your birthday?
September 21st.
Cool. Mine's the 15th. Yeah.
I gotta tell you something about it later.
Okay.
Okay.
Straight.
Okay.
They just became best friends.
But I started like kind of trying to get organized like about 3 to 4 weeks before the new year started. That way I could like start to form a habit. Like, okay, I'm gonna go into the new year tidy and organized, and like this is what I want for myself. And habits are difficult to start. Like they really are. Yeah, dude, consistency's crazy. I don't know what else you want me to say right now. So
Right now, that's great.
everybody else.
That was great. That was great.
Let's go to
Angel?
you, Angel.
Just putting you on the spot. That's,
I also don't believe in like resolutions and stuff because I never do them. And sorry, I'm easily distracted, which is also why I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. But with consistency, when I was in addiction, my life was like there was no consistency whatsoever. Like it was literally just do whatever came to my mind. Like when it came to my mind, I could be laying in bed and think, I'm going to go ruin my life like this. And I'm up and doing it in seconds. But like this year, I was sober last year, but this year I want to like actually form habits and because my life is still pretty hectic, even though I'm sober. Like it's crazy, but it's a good crazy now. Like it used to be a bad crazy. Now it's like I have so much to do then they're good things. I need to start forming habits and stop spreading myself so thin because like that can very easily take me back out really fast.
And it's so easy.
And
It is.
yeah, like because it's like every day I've got 8 things to choose from doing. I've got to at least do 5 of them, and I only have time for 2. Every single day.
Relatable.
Because I'm a full-time teacher and a full-time student, and I'm also really social, so I have to have friends and stuff.
that'll keep you busy.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
You said you were a kindergarten
Preschool teacher.
Preschool. That's even. I mean, you got all them toddlers and everything. You
And
know.
it's year-round, so I don't get summers off. It's horrible.
That'll keep you on your toes right there. So
It's horrible. I'm kidding. I love kids.
Oh, it's
It's
hi,
your turn.
everyone. Hi guys. Well, I don't really believe in New Year resolutions either. Mainly because I'm like you, like change, like you can do it whenever. Like it doesn't have to be like on this day at this time. Like I'm doing it because honestly, that scares me. So like if I even set myself like a deadline, like this is when I'm going to change. Like I'm like, yep, I'm gonna just procrastinate and never do it.
Yeah, dude.
That type of stuff,
Hell.
like deadlines and things, just bring up like my defects. So why would I even like set myself up for that? But I'm not perfect, so I still do sometimes do that to myself. Like the whole goal for me this week is like wake up every morning and make my bed, which I have done. It's only Tuesday, but we've done it Monday and Tuesday, so it's working so far.
2 for 2.
But yeah, like I don't know, like I went into 2020 in a very, very peaceful place, like with like my close friends, and like we just like drank a lot of Red Bull and apple cider.
you're gonna
as
say
a-
alcohol
So
for a
did I
second.
first.
No. We were just really hyper on Red Bull. But I don't know, like it was just very, very cool to like bring it in the new year in a very peaceful place, because like the past 2 years of my life, like going into the new year, like being sober, like has been like something's like going on in my life that's like dramatic and like crazy, and like I have to like get through it. And now it's like, no, it's just a new year. I'm not trying to be a new person. Like it's just like this is where I'm at, and like I don't know, it's cool. Like the only thing that like I feel like I need to change is like how much I like want to grow this year.
Yeah, dude. I feel
And
that.
like, yeah, like,
I mean, I guess that's a New Year's resolution, right?
well, you know,
Oh,
we're just not gonna call it that. I can't commit to a resolution. If I commit to it, then I'll just sit there and be like, I'm not gonna grow. Physically, I promise you, I'm not gonna grow. I'm only 5 feet, but yeah, like, we'll see what growth comes into my life. I'm not like, I'm seeking it, but I'm not like going hardcore. Like, where am I gonna grow today? I just kind of like let it naturally come to me and like look out for it, but not like search for it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Whatever.
I get it.
It's a well organized
You get what
thought.
I'm
I get
saying?
it. I know where you're going with it.
Okay. There's things in my head. They're jumbled, but they're coming out of my mouth. I don't know what's happening.
It really is.
I'm starting to sweat. Okay, let's move on.
I relate to that on a spiritual level.
I think it's the hoodie. I think it's the hoodie.
Is it hot in here?
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah?
hot. It's so hot.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. For me, what New Year's resolutions made me think about, like when me and Costa were talking about the topic, and before we brought it to y'all, was I thought about, one was consistency, which Costa touched on, and two, I thought about change and how my outlook on it today is so much different than it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, like for me, change used to be a terrifying, like, boogeyman. I didn't like it. It freaked me out. I liked things to, I mean, now when I say, I mean, I did like to like mess my life up, like you were saying, Angel. Like, I was great at that. You know, it wasn't a conscious decision. It was just a result of my actions. But today, when it comes to like change and like New Year's resolutions and consistency, I think, honestly, I think consistency ties in great with change. Because for me, now when I get presented with change, like, I also hopefully have a new career opportunity presenting itself to me soon, which is, I mean, thank God. But I know with that, it's going to take, I'm going to have to put action behind that decision to move in that direction. Like, that's what, for me, like, this that makes me think about is in sobriety, I get presented, like, God puts these, like, little nuggets of change in front of me, and he's like, it's up to you, man. If all you have to do is take one step towards it with a little action, and you can have this, and it will be good. Because that's just, like, that's what change looks like to me now. It's no longer like this, like, oh, no, I have to do something different. For me now, it's like, oh, look at that, I have a new opportunity. Mm-hmm. And all I have to do is go towards it, you know, taking the next right action as, you know, as often as I possibly can. And with that, like, I can't half-ass anything anymore. Like, for me, a decision used to just be empty words. And I think that's one thing for me in my sobriety that has changed most is I don't just say things anymore. You know, like I used to, like I always joke about the fact that I used to be really good at canceling plans. I was a master at it. And
yeah.
I got high off of that, dude. If I could cancel a plan, that was amazing.
I can cancel a plan? Oh, wait. You know what? I'm about to cancel that plan right now.
I loved it, dude.
I don't even have to. I can be there, but
Back in the day, I would
anyway.
have canceled this. I would have canceled this straight up. But like, but that's the thing. Like, even with this this first podcast, we made a decision. Like, this is happening, and all we had to do was show up and put one foot in front of the other. So, like for me, consistency is huge when it comes to like New Year's resolutions or consistency and whatever that brings up for us. Is it's just, to me, I don't look at change as like a curse anymore. It's a blessing, and it's an opportunity that all I gotta do is reach out and grab it if I want it. You know. Mm-hmm. But that being said, I did something Aubrey brought up. I liked. She said, talked about preparedness a little bit, which is another thing. I'm not naive. I know, like New Year's resolution, I didn't just like at 12 be like, all right, I'm changing this now. Like if I want to change something, I have to decide that it's going to happen
and take the action to change.
Exactly, and then just take little actions to make sure like it changes, and it doesn't have to be like a monumental change. Like, all right, I'm this person, now I'm this person.
Right.
I take baby steps, man.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. With that's actually another thing I want to talk about. Cozy, you can elaborate more on this. Like anything that has to do with like, well, I'm just talking about like
Okay.
like baby steps and how we don't have to go to the extreme anymore with change.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. And then with that, I mean, I'll give it to you.
I mean, I did that last night.
Hey.
I was literally right, like I said, like one of my New Year's resolutions. Nobody believes in that in this room. Whatever.
Great topic.
I know, great topic.
Right, great topic. Nobody believes in it.
Well, apparently I do. Because you
It's
called
true.
me out
It's true.
for it.
Hey,
So
man.
I'm taking actions out of it.
No, but whatever topic. I mean, all that name aside, you know, like what it was, right? Is like I was talking to my sponsor last night, and I like got into my room, and this whole weekend I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna clean my room up. And I just didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, all right, like
Same.
I didn't, but it was because I don't play video games all that much, right? Like ever anymore. But I'm a Star Wars guy. You know what I'm saying? Angel is too.
Angel appreciation.
Hey, I have a pug named Vader.
Hey, there you go.
Black
You
pup.
do have a dog
I
named
do.
Vader. I forgot about that.
I've never
pup
seen
breeds just
Star
like
Wars.
him.
Uh-oh. See, now we're bringing up a whole nother
I'm
topic
so
over here.
sorry. The Baby Yoda memes are really cute.
They're adorable.
Okay, so I know that.
Y'all should have your own topic. Podcast
Baby
just
Yoda.
about Baby
Baby
Yoda. All right. What it
So you're getting a Baby Yoda tattoo?
I'd be down.
I already have a stormtrooper.
You have a stormtrooper tattoo too?
That's all about Star Wars right there.
Here
we
we
are
go.
we are
Later.
derailing.
Later.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll show you later. I feel like it's not the right space.
Not on camera. No, but all right. So there's a new Star Wars game, right? And I got it, and I was like, this happens every single time I get a new video game, which is why I don't play video games, because I'll crack out on it, and my addict side will come out. All my defects will come out, and I won't leave the room. Like, I smoke. I did not leave the room to even smoke for like 9 hours.
That's
you
not
telling
okay.
me-
Just
That's why
playing
I
that
smoke
game.
in my room.
I don't. Like, I just, my roommates would be like, yeah, whatever. My landlord, I don't want to get into that on camera either. You know, so
No, my friend does.
there's just some things that are better left unsaid. But no, it really, like, it was just all about, like, I just cracked out on it. And I was like, I'm going to clean my room. I should really clean my room. And I just sat in this, like, messy room all weekend. And then I came back from the meeting last night, and I was talking to my sponsor. And as I was talking to him, something just happened, and I just started cleaning up my room. And I was like, all right, cool. Now my room is clean. Now I just have to keep it like that. And that's the baby steps that
That's
you're
the
talking about.
hardest part.
But that's the baby steps that he's talking about, right? It's because it's like, cool. Like, my room's clean. Now when I have dirty clothes, instead of throwing them on on the floor, baby steps, just throw them in the hamper.
There's a bucket for that.
Yeah, there's a bucket for that. You know, like, and it's really like, it kind of brings me into gratitude a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Because, like,
Okay.
I'm grateful for having a house, right? I'm
Yeah.
grateful for having my own room,
There
right?
we go.
Oh,
There
yeah,
it is.
there
You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Dang.
grateful for having my own car, right? Like, I'm grateful for having a job. But being thankful and being grateful are two different things, because with gratitude, you have to take action, right? So if I'm grateful for my room, if I'm grateful for my car, I got to keep them clean. If I'm grateful for this job that I'm at right now, Dylan says such a good game. It is such a good game. Trust me, I cracked out on it.
He just bought me that game.
Really? Don't crack out on it. I mean, you might end up doing that. But it's like it all comes back to gratitude, because I'm grateful for having a room, right? I'm grateful for having my own house.
Yeah.
Like, I'm grateful for the roommates that I live with. So I'm gonna treat them with respect. I'm gonna clean up the house a little bit. I'm grateful for having my room. I'm gonna clean up my room. I'm grateful for having a car. I'm gonna make sure there's oil in it, like it doesn't run out of gas, like it's clean, you know. And like, living out of gratitude is probably one of the most God-centered places that I could be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's just like, gratitude is just kind of like, I don't know how we got onto gratitude. Like, this just
went
brings
there. You
into,
took us there.
we went there,
Took it
right?
there.
It just kind of that's just what it is, because like, when you're grateful for having something, you take the action to show that you're grateful for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do y'all have any thoughts on gratitude?
I do, actually. Yeah, no, like, so a couple weeks ago, I was going through this whole dilemma in my life where everything sucked, or so it felt. It didn't really suck. It just felt like it sucked. And I was talking to a buddy of mine. He's been a pretty good friend to me all throughout my recovery. I met him in treatment, and that was, almost 15 months ago now. And I was talking to him about how I was just having these issues, and he said, "It sounds like you have a lack of gratitude, Aubrey." And I didn't even hear that from my sponsor. I heard that from like a fellow. And I was like, well, yeah, but I don't really know how to be grateful right now. I don't feel very grateful. And he taught me this trick, which I found to be pretty cool, where he said, I challenge you to write a letter to somebody in your life and write all the awesome things about them. And it got me outside of myself, and it was super cool because I just started writing to somebody, you know. And like next thing I know, I started thinking about all these other people in my life. I'm like, wow, like I'm actually pretty grateful for these people. And then it turned into things and like my dogs, you know, and like my life. And it kind of started like this whole like snowball effect of gratitude. And for like the next week after that, I just kept waking up every day like, wow, I get to be sober today. Like, that's pretty cool, you know. I have a choice today. Like, I have all these awesome people. I get to go to a meeting. And that's, like, the thing, too, is, like, I used to say, oh, I have to go to a meeting, or I have to go meet with a sponsee, or I have to go meet with a sponsor. And now it's like I get to, you know? And like,
Isn't
I don't
it
know,
fun
that
when
was
people
just like
just yell that in your face when you're like, I have to, like, you get to. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
yeah, right, completely. Thanks,
You're right.
really
You're right.
appreciate
Right.
it.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I don't know. That was like a cool little technique that I learned whenever I'm not feeling very grateful, just to start writing to something or someone that like why I'm grateful for that person, place, or thing.
I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty tight.
All
It
right.
is
Pretty
cool.
tight, yeah.
It is cool. Anybody else have any thoughts about gratitude?
Yeah, I'm backtrack a little bit to the messy room thing.
Yeah.
I have been struggling with this my entire life. I'm just like by nature a disaster.
I am
And
too.
like
So.
it
Same.
looks horrible, but I know where everything is.
Exactly.
And
It's organized. It's an
not
organized
dirty.
mess, you know?
There's just so much. Anyway, I've been working on that, and like it got me in this real big slump where like I wouldn't even hang out with people because like they would always. My house is really cool. It's got like pool tables and darts, and like it's just fun to hang out at. So if I hung out with people, they'd always want to come back to my house, and you can't see my mess. So like, I had to come up with excuses, and anyway, I got in this slump, and like I still haven't cleaned my room, but but yesterday I got so depressed, really like out of nowhere, and like I was looking around my room, and I wanted to play video games, and I was like, yo, it's your fault. It's all your fault. And, but I became grateful that, you know, at least I have like video games. Like at least I have this house and my messy car and like these messes to complain about, because it used to be like, I mean, I had nothing. Like I like was couch surfing or living in my car, and then I sold the car that I lived in, and like there was nothing. So at least I have these things to complain about, and that kind of like lifted my spirits. Not enough to clean my room. We'll get there one day, but enough to be.
Baby
steps.
Hey.
You know, baby steps.
Yeah.
Just start with like one thing, like pick up one thing, you know? I don't know. That's kind of like what I did. Like when I was trying to like get myself and my life together physically with my mess in my house.
It's really just clothes. I just have so many.
Dude, I feel it. I had to do like a whole purge last year. You get attached. Like you get attached to things and it's obnoxious, but
I can't even fit into half of my clothing. I just want it. It's mine.
I totally understand that.
yeah.
I have a
Memories.
huge closet full of clothes that honestly I just look at.
My room is my closet.
Like I wear some of them, but I just kind of like look at them.
I like to know that they're there.
Yeah, I
They're
like
there
walk
for
in.
me
I'm
when
like,
no one
oh,
else
this is beautiful.
Security.
Okay, sweatpants. Like it's like that's literally how I am. I walk in and I'm like, oh, my shoes are like I'm a very organized person. So it's actually like
Virgo.
I could use a little bit of mess in my life, but like I really can't, honestly. There's like I don't know. I'm like I can't handle mess. Like it doesn't bother me like in other people's houses, but like for me, like personally, like I can't handle it. But something I like realize like I'm like the opposite. Like the reason why I like to organize and like do all that is because I like to control something. And so like that is my like little way of like okay, like I can like at least control this. And like but it's like not a bad thing, I don't think, to like control the fact that like my place looks clean. I hope that's not a bad thing. I really hope that's not. I just like really just busted myself. But a thing that like I've realized this year is like one of the things that like I've never really taken care of since I've gotten sober is like my physical well-being, which is like eating better or like trying to not smoke as many cigarettes or like I'm not going to quit, so I'm not going to say that on Facebook Live. But
more accountability.
Yeah, no, we're not. I don't want
that.
I don't.
That's 14 people of accountability.
They all heard you.
Listen, I'm not quitting cigarettes. Not yet, at least. We'll see what happens. But I used to be a dancer. So I used to take very, very good care of my body, but I've gotten very lazy with that since I've gotten sober because like I was so messed up on the inside that like I kind of like let like the outside of me like kind of just be like, okay, we'll get to that another time. But now it's like I've like realized like, okay, like I'm spiritually okay, like I'm emotionally okay, like now it's time to like get like my physical like together because it's like I'm very grateful the fact that like I do have a healthy body today, like I'm not putting poison in it anymore,
Right.
you know, so it's like I should be taking care of it, which I'm very terrified of doing because like I've realized like I am terrified of doing it because I don't want to commit to actually like working out. I don't want to commit to it. But I don't know. I just like, it's something I want to do. And like usually like I know if I'm scared of something, like that's like the coolest place to start for me. It's like, okay, like there's some fear here. All right, let's go, you know, because it's like once I like walk through that fear and like, well, my baby step whenever I'm going through something like that is like to like start off with being honest. Like, all right, like I'm scared of this because like I'm scared I'm going to be competitive with myself, or like I'm scared that I'm going to like judge myself because I'm not as good in shape as I used to be, or like just stuff like that. So I've already started there. I already told somebody that, and like we'll see if she ever hits me back on Instagram. I kind of don't want her to. I'm kind of regretting the fact that I sent her a message. I'm not going to lie. This is like a few hours ago today. This is all new. But we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. But I don't know. I just like, I got to change something about like my physical well-being. Cause like I'm 24. My knee shouldn't hurt. Like that's not normal. My hips shouldn't hurt. My back shouldn't hurt. Like why does everything ache? But it's because I'm just not doing anything to like take care of that part of me that like, I'm spiritually and emotionally like ready to like actually like dive into. So that is something on gratitude.
There you go. Gentry told us to just make our bed and the rest stays cleaner.
I saw that.
Yeah. I mean,
my least favorite thing to do.
yeah, that's one of the things. I don't wake up. I don't wake up and the first thing I do is not make my bed.
You brush your teeth.
I got to take a shower and then I brush my teeth.
I'm a night
I've
I've got to
just-
sit and stare at the wall
Yep.
for a couple of minutes.
Well, yeah.
accept that
First
I'm
off, I'll
awake.
check social media.
I
First, I
pet
check
my
social media.
cat.
If I'm really fully being honest,
I hit snooze 30 times first.
that's
what I
probably
do.
actually the first thing that I do. That's
I
about
have,
the
like,
first
8
thing that I
alarms
do.
and the tones get more aggressive as they go on.
I wake up to Jumpman by Drake. It gets you up. It's like Jumpman, Jumpman. You're like, all right, let's jump. Let's get out of
That
bed.
is not my. I don't want to jump.
Well, it makes I don't actually get out of bed to that. That's actually my first alarm at like 7, and then
Yeah.
And then you hit snooze
My very
13
last
times.
alarm is just like ear piercing sirens.
that's my parents' ringtone.
It just startles me awake.
I think this was directed at you, Liz. Follow my Wednesday workout tomorrow on Instagram. That's
Oh,
from Gentry.
Jesus.
Life with Gentry.
There you go.
All right, thanks.
She was on the
Jen.
show actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey,
she was on the
girl.
show.
I'll follow you.
So before we get into anything else, there's 11 people watching. If you guys have anything like that are watching us right now, if anybody that is watching us has anything that they would like us to talk about or bring a topic to the table or ask us questions or anything like that, feel free to. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about. If there's any other...
I had something.
What's up?
I had something.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
You guys kept it light and talked about a lot of laundry and video games.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
About working out.
You did talk
Star
about
Wars
that. You
video
did
games. Right?
Like
I
the
got
important
vulnerable.
stuff. You're the important stuff. You're
Star
right.
Wars is important.
You're right.
So we're about to get serious.
Yes.
Not,
do
not,
it.
not entirely serious. Not entirely serious. No, I want. But
Take yourself so damn
I-
seriously.
All right, I'm not taking
Little
myself seriously.
62.
I'm just saying. Since this is a show about recovery, I want to talk about, for me, the biggest change I made, getting sober, and what that looked like in the beginning. Yeah, see a lot of wide eyes just happen.
Okay.
Hi.
Biggest change we have being sober. We
Like
made
getting
being
sober.
getting sober.
Like,
No, the decision to get sober.
Is
we're
the
talking
biggest
about
change.
that.
That's what it was for me.
That is the biggest change.
I just wanted to go back and like touch on that because just in case anyone's watching, and or they might see this later, and like the fact of the matter is like I'm an addict. Costa's here. We're all here in recovery, right? That's what I mean. We laugh and talk about a bunch of just ridiculous stuff, but but there's like I didn't want to talk about that. I wanted to bring that to the table and get you guys' thoughts on that because I know for me, this is my personal thing. I got sober, like for real sober, one time. Other than that, I tried once, but it was this thing in me that I think it was the first real decision that I made in a long time. It was something that I didn't take lightly, and it was just like, all right, dude, something in me spiritually, physically, and emotionally has to change right now, you know? And it was like this like moment where I just like surrendered. And I think that's just something that would be cool to talk about and maybe, share y'all's experience with that. Because there might be a newcomer watching the show at some point, and just tuning in, just looking up this video. And like for me, I had to lock myself up in a detox center, and like that moment where I was like, I thought I was going to be having pancreatitis again because I had that twice before I got sober. And I thought it was happening again. And there was this thing in me that finally broke. And I was like, something needs to change. And I remember that moment. And it was the first time I ever called and said, dude, I need help. First time. I called a trusted friend of mine that had time in sobriety. She had like 14 years. And for the first time, I was like, I need help with this, you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to take the first step. I knew I wanted to take a step, but I didn't even know which direction I wanted to go in. All I knew was something needed to change. And for me, that was like the biggest decision I think I've made up until this point. I mean, ever since that decision, my life's progressively got better. Like every single day has been better than the last. I've had my ups and downs. I've had challenges, but ultimately that one decision, like that changed everything. The name of the game just completely changed, and my life, I believe, really started that day. So I know like we were talking about like the little changes, but like, and I totally I'm sorry, Costa, I want to talk about that.
I'm reading Christian's comment right now. What if your sobriety was powered by your hair, Darin?
My sobriety is powered by my hair. 90% of my sobriety is right here. I'm not going to cut it, guys.
He also asked who cut your hair. But
Would I cut my hair?
no,
was the
who-
last time
you
cut
cut
your
your hair? He actually asked you cut your hair.
Do
I mean,
Did
no.
you cut your hair?
I
don't
have
think
not in
so.
a long time. No, it's been like 6 months.
Sorry. We got Christian, my boss, the guy who runs this place. He's
Gotcha.
yeah.
But yeah, no, my sobriety is right here, guys. It's
all this
Can I
luscious
have it?
locks.
no.
Okay.
It's his sobriety.
If I give it to you, I won't have it for me. But
No, can I touch it?
yeah.
My sister's asking questions.
So, what other questions we got?
I like that topic though. We'll get into that in a second. Biggest blessing as of now since sobriety,
Oh,
and any advice you would give anyone struggling with anxiety or depression.
y'all got thoughts on that?
Hey Leslie. So biggest blessing as of now since I've gotten sober is probably that I've gotten sober.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
For real.
Like, I don't think that there's a bigger blessing than that. Everything that I do now, like I work on videos all day. I do this all day. And I mean, this is what I grew up wanting to do. I wanted to be an audio engineer or in video production. I wanted to be in entertainment, and because I got sober, because I trusted God, because I started following God's will, like this has been presented to me, and any advice I would give anybody struggling with anxiety or depression would be, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because that was a big thing for me, right? Is like, I was afraid to ask for help. I was afraid of judgment. I was afraid people would judge
Yeah.
me or look at me differently because I'm depressed, because I'm sad. Oh, you're a sad boy. I'll like, no, like it's a mental health. It's a mental health thing. You know what I mean? Like it's actually really serious. But there's like this stigma on it. There's this bad view that people have on it. And it deprives people of the help that they should actually get.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I think the biggest blessing I've gotten in sobriety is like, it's funny, my sister asked that question, but it's my family. They trust me again. Like,
That's a good one.
I'm allowed into their homes, and like nothing is hidden. Like the doors are all unlocked, and like they don't watch what room I'm walking into when I go to the bathroom. Like, and that's a huge deal for me because my whole life it's been hard to trust me. Because of my own actions, like it was a weird feeling over the holidays to be at my family's house and no one was looking at me differently. Like, in fact, we had a whole conversation about how currently, out of a couple of my siblings, I'm the only employed one. And
Which is kind of like a complete
and it was
turnaround.
like,
probably.
no, I was like, "My, have the tables turned."
Okay, we're on the dark side. Now you came to the light side. Darth Vader turned Luke.
Don't. I thought it's two different characters.
I wouldn't know.
She's gonna go home
Sorry,
and like
I'm
watch every Star Wars episode. Watch.
Yeah, dude, I'll binge watch them with you. It's been a minute.
I
Dude,
will
do it
too.
together.
Yes.
We should all just do it and go live.
I have
Yes.
blankets.
On
Oh, man.
I have blankets.
Can we make a fort?
I too, I too own blankets.
Yeah, bring your
I got
blankets.
the one. I got one.
Yeah, I got like
I
got
hope
like
we
two.
all own some blankets.
Yeah, yeah. I got a weighted blanket for Christmas.
Oh, I did
though,
too.
bruh. Oh,
A weighted
so good.
blanket?
Yes,
So
it
good.
Hey, anxiety and depression person, whoever
Exactly.
asked that, get
My sister,
a weighted
actually.
blanket. That is
Get a cat.
I have a cat.
a dog.
Sorry.
A
We're
dog.
dogs are good.
Because
I don't
cats are
like
like
those
weird, you
things.
know, and they're like, pet me, don't pet me, pet me, don't pet me.
That's
you
perfect
know?
for me though.
Yeah,
Because I
dogs
can't.
suck.
Excuse you.
They put their tongues all over where they shouldn't.
No, bro, you can train them.
don't
I've been working in the dog
want my
industry for
face
like
to
10
get licked.
years. I know too much. Yeah, no, I'll give you some tips on dog and their behaviors.
I mean, I
know
don't
things.
hate dogs.
I would hope
Some
not.
of them.
We wouldn't be able
I
to
love
be friends.
dogs.
I like my
Dogs are
boyfriend's
great.
dogs. That's it.
I have
Those are
3.
the only ones I like.
That's a lot.
Only because he just angry reacted to me not liking dogs.
I take it offensively. I do. Like them. They're sweet.
Any actual thoughts about depression?
Yeah.
We love having fun,
Off
but
track.
we love having fun, but you know we get a little off track
ADHD.
sometimes.
Right. No, weighted blanket is great, but no, I mean, I was kind of dealing with some anxiety and depression for the first time in my sobriety, like really heavily dealing with it. A couple of weeks ago, probably about 2 months ago, and I just sought therapy like immediately. I was like, I need help, and I need it now, because I was seriously losing myself to the anxieties and depressions that I was kind of like going through. And there's like some great resources out there if you don't have health insurance, which I'm one of those people. And I found a sliding scale therapist, and luckily she's in recovery. That was like one thing that was important to me. It was finding a therapist that's in recovery, has worked the steps, has a program, you know, like all the things. And she's got, you know, a good amount of time behind her, and I go to see her every week. And since I started doing that, I mean, the first time I just cried, like the first session. Like, I just cried my eyes out the whole time. And, you know, it's like the self-pity aspect of it, I think, is like really where my anxiety and depression come from. Like, you know, what is this person going to think of me? Like we were talking about earlier, you know, judgment. People's opinions to me, for some reason, matter so much. And, like, it's something I'm working on. So I guess that's a New Year's resolution, too.
Oh, my God. More people have New Year's resolutions than they thought.
It's just try not to care.
Miss don't believe in them over there.
Hey, Hey, I know I have things I need to work on. The growth never stops, you know.
We just don't call them New Year's resolutions.
No, we don't call them. We just call it wanting to change. But yeah, I don't know. Like setting like goals and trying not to care so much about what people think, and just like finding little things to like channel like the anxiety and depression into something beautiful, like drawing or coloring or writing music is something that I thoroughly enjoy doing, you know.
Me
Like
too.
even just taking a walk, dude. Like that's
With a
one of-
dog.
yeah, with a dog or a cat.
Or
if
a
you
cat.
have it leash trained.
I've been thinking about getting a harness for my cat. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure my brother has a harness for his
That's
cat.
I'll do it.
Do it.
Okay.
You should.
Go walk my cat.
Yeah.
I walk my cat sometimes.
Can you come train my cat?
He's like the size of a small dog.
we need to
though.
get together.
All three of us.
He's a
Girls'
very
night.
large
You guys
dog.
aren't invited.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
just kidding.
That's fine. We'll have a guys' night.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
go play Star Wars.
Yeah, we'll go play Star Wars.
Hey, we can play Star Wars too.
Yep,
Hey,
okay.
I've got the game.
Hey, they're gonna teach me Star Wars.
I have the game. You're
All
good.
right, good.
Hey,
Sweet. Yeah.
Sorry.
what were you
Take a
talking
walk.
But yeah, just like taking a walk, talking to somebody, like I don't know, finding somebody to like speak out to and get honest with, and like that person just like levels with you, and they're like, dude, me too, and it's like, oh, okay, so it's not like a me problem,
Yeah.
like. Because that's important for me too. Like sometimes I get caught up in myself, and I'm like, this is just an Aubrey problem.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous and delusional thinking, you know? So, like, I just reach out to somebody, and then, like, you know, the Me Too's come in, and then you can, like, get it out. Just get it out. Talk about it. And that's just so important, I think, just in recovery or, like, life in general. Talking, like, about your feelings is so taboo in, like, the normal people world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like when someone says, "How are you doing?"
Yeah.
You're just supposed to say, "I'm great."
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
just great. I'm
And
dandy.
you smile.
Chipper.
Yeah. Like, this is fine, the little
If you
bearded
actually
dog.
answer the question,
the
people
fire.
are like,
Whoa,
Yeah,
wasn't
dude.
expecting that.
"Overshare."
Like, I didn't actually want
What
to
do you
talk
think
about
you're
this.
doing? Yeah. Who are you?
When you hit them with
Or in
the
jail.
"I've been better," and they're like, you know, I'm gonna go,
Yep.
and you're like,
You
so
should
they're
seek
like,
help.
well, thanks for being my friend.
Sinks into the bush.
Yep.
I like that about reaching out to people because, like, a few months ago, I found myself, like, in a very, very dark place, like, to the point where I, like, literally felt like there was, like, darkness, like, around me. And I, like, literally was, like, trying to, like, get through it on my own because I try to be, like, this Miss Independent. Like, I can do everything on my own. But I just, like, woke up one morning and, like, I was, like, so tired of, like, not being able to sleep and, like, so tired of, like, not, like, wanting to, like, it's going to sound weird, I'm live right now, but not wanting to take a shower or, like, not wanting to eat, like, just normal life activities, like, normal day-to-day things. Like, I was just not wanting to do it. And so like I said, I, like, woke up one morning and I was like, okay, like, I'm done with feeling this way. Like, I've, like, been happy before, and, like, I know what that looks like, and I just want to get back there, and I just, like, want to be comfortable in my skin and, like, want to, like, take care of, like, just normal things. Like I said, like, taking a shower. Like, that was hard
Right.
for me. And so I, like, got on this group chat with, like, my friends because thank God Apple, like, phones do group chats, and I just contacted like 5 girls right there and just like sent them like a paragraph of like where I was at, like what I was thinking. Like, I told them I was like, I don't want to get drunk, I don't want to get high, I don't want to die, like I don't want to exist. And it was very, very like real for me. And so the girls started obviously responding. And then one of my best friends like called me, and I just talked to her for like an hour and like cried, and then called my sponsor. I even called my mom, and just like my two of my friends came and picked me up and took me shopping. Like people just like showed up for me. And so it's like for me, like when I like am going through stuff and like I find myself like easily slipping back into that, like I always retreat back to like, okay, who are my friends? And like that's like the biggest thing that like I would say is like get yourself like a network of people for when those times happen, like those people that like you can trust, and like you know that like whenever you're with them, like you're comfortable in your own skin, and like you can be happy and like free around them. because those people are the people that are always going to be there for you no matter what. So it's like, that's a very important part for me when it comes to anxiety and depression, is like knowing like I have those people in my life for when that happens to me, because it does happen. Life happens.
Right.
Like literally, like life just happens sometimes, and you go to those places sometimes, especially in recovery, because you're taking a deep look at yourself, like the hardest look at yourself. I'm getting all hot again. But
You're getting kind of serious over there.
I'm sorry, I got really vulnerable for a second. I don't know what just happened. But yeah, so like, I don't know. I just like remember like being there, and now it's like I'm not there anymore, and it's because like I started with that first, like we were talking about earlier, baby steps. Started with that first step of like just admitting to my friends what was going on. And now it's like they showed up for me, they pulled me out of it. Now I show up for them when they're like, it's like it just cycles all around, and like it's just been really cool to like get back to like me, whatever that is. We're here. This is where we are right now. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Yep.
Go ahead, Darin.
I want to touch on one of the biggest blessings I've had in sobriety has been the people that I've connected with.
Yeah, dude.
The biggest blessing is realizing that I wasn't like so broken or gone, like that I couldn't help people. I think that's one thing that actually kind of got me sober in the first place, was trying to immediately give back any type of relief that I got. I just like threw it at other people. I was like, I got it, here, you take it. It was like, this is amazing. Like it can be done, guys. And I just like threw it at as many people as I possibly could.
You get happiness. You get some happiness. You get some.
Okay, Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's happiness.
It's a bag full of joy.
But yeah, dude, like that's why connections in sobriety, easily the biggest blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I met this guy right here in sobriety. We got sober together in a treatment center.
Yeah.
And now like
I met you guys there.
Yeah. Elizabeth met
They
us
reached
there, too.
out to me.
Nice.
dude, so yeah, and like the humility that people touched on, that was a huge learning thing for me, because one of the biggest things I didn't want to do is I never wanted anyone to know that I was struggling. I always wanted to be
Yeah,
like,
he's really good at that.
I was, dude.
You are so good at that.
I'm still good at it. It's like it takes effort for me to like let those walls down to this day. It's pretty bad, but that's a skill that I'm incredibly grateful that I got that skill to be able to like push myself out of the way and be like, dude, step aside. You need help. And now I have people I can reach out to whenever I need to, day or night, when I'm struggling, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I no longer have to face anything alone. And to me, that's easily the biggest blessing that I've gotten out of sobriety.
Yeah.
Is the other people in my life. And as far as the whole anxiety and depression, back for me, straight back to humility. One of the biggest things that brought on anxiety was thinking I was about to be judged for not having everything together. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm crumbling on the
Yes.
inside, but I cannot reach out for help. That to me, like I get anxiety thinking about that concept even right now. Like I'm like, ooh, what if I was like, if I'm crumbling on the inside and I don't have faith that someone's gonna like help me if I reach out to them and they're gonna judge me instead? That's gonna terrify me every single time.
Yep.
And today I don't have to live with that. And a big piece of that was being humble enough in the beginning of getting sober to say, guys, I'm broken. I have some things I need to fix. Can you help me? And that was, to me, was the biggest answer for the anxiety, which led to the depression, which led to plenty of other things like getting out of bed, wanting to take a shower in the morning, you know, the things that depression takes away from you, like the want to do anything. But so, dude, I love the people I have in my life today. That's been the biggest blessing by far that I've gotten in sobriety.
Real quick, we're kind of getting ready to wrap up. We're going to be able to go around probably one more time. Let's just kind of like talk to the newcomer a little bit. You know, like give them some hope and strength. Give them some reason why they should, you know, get into recovery if they're struggling. And this kind of does lead back into you know, depression and anxiety, because I know before I got sober, and even in sobriety, like it didn't go away right away. You know what I mean? Like I had to work towards it. I had to work my ass off for it. You know, and I was like, I struggled. Like I relapsed multiple times. They know. You know, and like it was not an easy road for me by any means. And it still really isn't. Chandler says, "What's up?"
Sup?
Hey, Chandler.
But it, for me, like, it's gonna sound like really cliche, right? But like the biggest thing for me was like I never gave up. You know, like sure, yes, I've relapsed. You know what I mean? Like yes, like I've gone down some dark roads in sobriety. You know what I mean? But like I never gave up. Like I continued pushing and I continued to try and find the way back out of that hole.
Tell it.
You know, and that, and that was really like the biggest thing for me is like I had to keep going, no matter what. I had to keep fucking going.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I got a bracelet right here that says it. Keep fucking going. And that's like that's really what it's been for me. You know, is like keep going and have fun.
Yeah.
Because that was another like huge thing for me too. Is like I didn't think that I could have fun being sober, especially being so young. Like the first time I tried to get sober, I was 16. Then I tried to get sober again at 20. Then I tried to get sober again at 21. Then I tried to get sober again at 22. And then I relapsed when I was around 23. And then 24 I relapsed, and now I'm like I think 25, I have not relapsed yet. I'm 25. I just turned 25 in October. I've not relapsed yet in 25. You know, but like
Don't say yet though.
I have not relapsed at
Period.
25. Period. Boom. We're getting it this time. But that's really like it's been a road. It's been a path. It's been a journey. And I had to keep going. You know, no matter what, I had to keep going. So what's kind of like the biggest thing for you guys that you could possibly think about to tell the
So
newcomer?
much to say.
No pressure, guys.
No pressure. We have about 10 minutes. So, who
All
wants to go?
I could go.
All right.
So for me, like, if I was to just be in front of a newcomer that's like begging for advice, I would tell them, it kind of brings back to what you were trying to bring up about change and like you wanted to get more serious. When I first decided to get sober, I was obviously at my worst point that I could possibly be at ever. Like, I wasn't showering, I wasn't eating, I was literally only doing drugs and playing video games, not getting out of bed. I rarely used the bathroom because my body was so unhealthy, and my food was delivered to my bed. Like, I never got up. And I was scrolling through Facebook, and I saw my brother who walked across America for drug overdose awareness. I saw he was on his second walk, and he made this huge post about our sister who had passed away from an overdose and how he was doing it for her. And like, it clicked in my mind. I was like, whoa. Like, I was literally in the act of getting high, and I read that, and I just like had this flash of all my family getting that text and that call again. Like, him walking across America for drug overdose awareness for our sister who OD'd, finding out on that walk that I also OD'd. And like, I just couldn't do it anymore. Like, I thought about my family and my friends, and that was it. That was enough for me. Like, it was this like epiphany that I had, and I called my mom, and I felt it was the best way for her to hear about it. And no one judged me. I realized that I had that network that we've been talking about the whole time. Like, because my family is so recovery friendly, but I was so scared of getting judged. And like, most of my like family members have had some experience in addiction. Like, some of them don't do the steps, and they do it their own little way, but most of us have experienced it. And so like, I had this network already in place. And so like, my advice to a newcomer would be just like, realize that there may be already people in your life that you could talk to. You may not have to go out and find it. If that's too hard for you, find the best person in your life right now, and they can direct you to people who can help you better. Because my brother could only do so much for me, because he's not like an addict. He was just raising awareness for addiction and overdose. But he directed me into this entire network of people that I didn't know existed. And I found out that my problem wasn't an angel problem, it was a human problem. And now I'm a preschool teacher.
There you go.
Like, I think recovery is pretty cool. And like, but it's also really hard. I got hit by a car sober with my body, not my car. And it wasn't easy, but people showed up for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I was like crippled, hit by a car, like days after my birthday,
Damn.
and sober.
That's crazy.
And
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're
seriously.
Here.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
My apartment burned down shortly after. Like, it was a
That was
horrible
not a
year for
good-
sobriety, but I did it. And like, it was because of the people around me that were
Yeah.
already in my life beforehand.
That's
It's so cool.
That's also the great thing about recovery is like you can walk through anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of my little net that I've built, I can fall and I'm always gonna get caught.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to fall really hard these days.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people catch me
I've
before I
got
hit the
this
bottom.
net that
Yeah.
just doesn't break.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Liz?
Hello.
Hey.
To the newcomer, I think the thing that, well, what I was told when I was new, that really, really helped me and surely, like, really quickly busted my ego was I was told that I couldn't trust my own thinking, because my thinking is what got me into recovery. And that's, like, one thing that, like, I honestly have told, like, a lot of people that are newcomers personally, because, you know, when you're new, like, you want to, like, you're like, okay, now I'm sober, now I'm going to be happy. Like, you're just trying to change everything, like, right then and there. But it's like, dude, like, you can't trust your own thinking. Like, you can't try to speed up this process. Like, it's one day at a time. And, like, just be patient with, like, the process. Really, really patient with the process, which is really hard for us as addicts and alcoholics, because like we're used to that instant gratification of like, okay, like I know if I drink like this much I'm going to feel this way, or I know if I do this much of a drug like I'm going to feel this way. But like when you're getting sober, like you have no idea how you're going to feel at the end of the day. In the beginning, like you have no idea, and it's terrifying. But eventually, like life just starts getting better. I don't know how to explain how it gets better. It just does. Like you just, it's really relieving, like to wake up like every morning and be like, wow, I'm not hungover today. Wow, I didn't argue with like my family last night. Like it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like going back to like gratitude, like really like getting into like being grateful for like all the things that like are small in the beginning of sobriety, like like I said, like the hangover, like, whoa, I'm no longer hungover. I don't have to like get drunk in the morning to be okay by like 5 p.m. and then so I can keep drinking. Like it's like, I mean,
Do that anyway. Yeah.
you know, whatever. But it's like, I don't know. It's just like really relieving, and like to know like, it's like you get like people in your life that like show up for you that like you never knew like were in recovery too. Like so many people have like reached out to me that like I literally had no idea that they were affected by alcoholism or addiction. Like I had no idea. And they're like, oh my God, like you're in recovery. My like uncle that's like twice removed is in recovery, and like it really affects me. Like I just want to tell you I'm so proud of you. Or like, you know, like, or like your like best friend from high school that like you used to get like messed up with, like all of a sudden like pops up and they're like, yeah, I'm sober too. And you're like, oh, dude, let's go to a meeting. And then like you have like this new like friendship out of nowhere, you know? And so it's like, I don't know, like I've always been very honest about my recovery, which is like, sometimes it's scary for people to be honest with like the normies in the world about their recovery because of the stereotype that's like kind of put on us. But at the end of the day, like, I've never had someone walk up to me and be like, oh, you're an alcoholic, I can't be friends with you. You know, like that's never happened to me. Everyone's always like, I'm proud of you. Like if you're seeking validation in your life, you got to tell somebody you're in recovery. They'll tell you that they're proud of you.
Yeah.
It's the quickest validation you can get. It's true.
It's real.
I hope everyone that knows me just heard that and doesn't stop doing that. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just very like, I don't know. There's like this pink cloud that you go through in the early recovery, then like you kind of get off of it and you're like, why am I doing this? And then all of a sudden like life still gets a little bit better and you're like, why am I doing this? But it's like, don't stop before the miracle happens. 'Cause miracles happen every single day. As long as you open up your eyes to see it, you will see it and you will feel it. And it's like, it's better than getting drunk to me today. Like, it's better than getting high. It's better than anything I've ever felt. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Get sober. I mean, it's even if you are an alcoholic, get sober. It's fun.
Work the 12 steps.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I like that you mentioned like the whole pink cloud thing. I didn't have that. I did not have a pink cloud. I like my early sobriety. I mean, I'm still technically early in my sobriety. You know, we're all still newcomers, I think. But let me just get that closer. Yeah, I remember like my early recovery and sobriety. It was so painful. It was so painful. I felt like I didn't have any friends because I really didn't. I mean, things didn't, like, my social life didn't start to really boom until I hit about 6 months, really, for me. That's just my experience. But I still had, like, the day I got out of treatment, you know, I got a sponsor. Like, the day I got out, I'm like, I need to get sober. Like, and this is what I need. So I found a sponsor, you know, I established a home group. I did my best to pursue a 90 and 90. It was difficult, but I made it happen. And like, it's painful, you know, getting sober, I think is very painful because like all these emotions and stuff kind of come up and all these memories start to like slap you in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And like, it's a lot of information all at one time, I think. But the one thing that was always said to me, like, just don't drink no matter what. Like, I know that's like a cliche, right?
Yeah.
But like, just don't drink no matter what. And I remember there were times where I'm like, I can't do this. I do not believe in myself. And it was hard. And then, but I didn't drink. And I just kept doing what I was supposed to be doing. And that in itself, like going to meetings and doing the prayers and meditation, even though I didn't particularly believe in a power greater than myself at that moment, like still talking to whatever, you know, like it was still all an act of faith. Like, and that was beautiful for me. Like knowing that, like, okay, I was just willing to do whatever it took. Like my sponsor could have told me to like lick a toilet seat to stay sober and I would have done it, you know?
Yeah.
Like whatever I had to do, I wanted to do. I wanted to do it. But yeah, getting a sponsor was like super huge for me. She has been amazing to me. Like I called her every single day for like months, just bothering her with all sorts of mishaps that would happen in my life. You know, it would be something stupid, like my dog would eat like something dumb, you know, and I'd call her freaking out because I'm emotional as hell. What? Yeah, me. But yeah, like just staying, like keeping the faith, like trying to expand the network, talking to people, because like my ego was huge when I came in.
Nope.
And I'm like, I'm not going to talk to anybody. Like, I'm the newcomer, so they need to come talk to me, you know? Like, and that was like...
That was me.
Yeah, like, that was
Be
it.
my friend. I'm not being your friend.
Right.
Be my friend.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then I popped that bubble as quickly as I could. I talked to my sponsor about it, and she was like, you know, you're being ridiculous, right? Like, go talk to them. Like, don't wait for them to talk to you. Like, go out and approach a circle of people and just stand there awkwardly until someone acknowledges you, and then say, hey, how's it going? And it's that simple. Establishing...
I still do that.
Yeah. I still
Yeah,
do
dude.
that.
Next to someone really close.
Like,
and like,
hey,
how you doing? I'm
right?
like, oh, me?
Yeah.
Didn't see you there.
Or you accidentally bump into somebody, be like, oh my God, so sorry. But my name is.
Yeah, how's it going? So, I don't know. Reach out. Reaching out is important. That's my thing. I don't know what else to say.
So Darin, Leslie asked, what would you tell people who are watching? We're about to wrap this up. Like, this is the last one. What would you tell parents who are watching? whose kids are struggling with alcohol and drug addiction.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just sprung that on you.
Yeah, you did.
The question's right there in front of your face. So, yeah.
I like that question.
It is a good
Yeah.
question.
My advice to a parent would be an example of what a network can be. I think that would be, I don't know, if I'm coming off the top of my head, that would be, because, I mean, that's like, I don't know, that's what parents should do, right? Show their kids what the world should be. Maybe not what it always is, but what it should be or could be. So if my child was struggling, I would be the first network, and I would make sure, as best to my ability, that they knew they could come to me if they had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
think that's really all you can do. I mean, I know my family struggled with it because, I mean, they tried reaching out, they tried the intervening, they tried a bunch of other stuff to get through to me, but until I was ready, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So, but once I was, one thing I didn't really have to question was if they were going to judge me. And I thank God for that every day. My family was amazing, as good as they could be through my addiction. But yeah, dude, just be an example of a network. Show them that they can still be loved and they can be accepted even though they made a lot of flaws and made mistakes. Let them know like they can restart at any point and you'll still be there, and you won't judge them for the mistakes they made in active addiction.
I love it.
God, Leslie, that was a hard question. Why would you do that?
She's like in the back room now, too.
I know. Wow.
She was just probably in the back office like, this is going to be a good question.
I
What
hope
should
I
I ask
answered
these
it
people?
decently for you.
That was a good answer.
No, that was a good
Yeah,
answer.
thank you.
I liked it. Stop being so insecure.
Never.
And serious.
Never.
But that's pretty much about it, man. So
Wait, you didn't give your advice to the newcomer. You got something
was-
real short and quick?
You did.
I
He
literally
started
went
it
first.
off.
Fun, bro.
He said,
Oh.
"Keep fucking going."
yeah,
Gosh.
and have fun.
He showed.
Hey,
off
don't
his-
do that. That's gonna show up in the audio. Come on now. I gotta do post production to this video.
Oh, sorry.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for coming out.
Yes, thank you guys.
All of y'all. And if you guys do want to come, and my mom says so proud of all of us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
I don't know you, but thank you.
Angel is my brother.
Angel is best.
Angel is best.
There you go. But seriously, thank you guys so much for coming out. I had fun. I hope you guys did too. Let's just remember that we're sober. We're not dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
And
Don't take yourself so damn seriously.
there you go.
Darren.
Never mind.
See you
Okay.
guys.